having near the end of this month, and it was just wonderful. I'm speaking about Proceed with Passion, but before I get to that, I have to tell your friend Christy, that the minister that you heard this morning was also an acting out teenager who also found himself arrested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 times. But that's all right. Maybe be a minister. And for my sister over here, I just want to say that you increase the love that you have for yourself. You fall so much in love with yourself that you can stand smiling in the presence of anyone, anywhere, at any time, who does not have the intelligence to love you the way you deserve to be loved. I've told people when they come to my house, people have said, "What's that on your mirror?" And I said, "Looks like a lip print." And I said, "Yeah, does it look about this size?" And they go, "Yeah." And I kiss the mirror because I have finally stopped waiting for anyone out there to give me what really I can give myself. It's actually fun for me. I moved on purpose to a neighborhood where I knew I would not be welcome, to just give myself an opportunity to see, is the love Carlos has for Carlos big enough to stand strong in the face of a field of people who appear not to like Carlos? And I found that it is strong enough, and it grows stronger all the time. So whatever your current challenge is, just allow it to allow you to fall more deeply in love with yourself, and you'll be able to smile at anyone, anywhere, once again, who does not have the depth of thought, the depth of knowing to love you as love itself should be loved. We have said many times, or I've said at least a couple of times when I've been here, that we hold glad expectations for each and every one of us who gather here together when we give these services. We hold glad expectations that a change, a positive change, an uplifting change will happen for each and every one of us. And we know that because we have this intention is already met in spirit and will be met in manifestation in the lives and in the hearts of each and every one gathered here. I have said before that if you came crawling in here on your belly, we expect completely that you will at least go crawling out on your knees. And that if you came crawling in on your knees, you will at least go limping out. And that if you came limping in, you will at least walk out. If you came walking in, you will skip out. If you skipped in here, you will run out. And if you ran in here, we know you will fly out. Because when the children of God get together, a change happens at a deep cellular level, at the level of the electromagnetic field. And we understand that we are living in a field of appearance that is truly the outpicturing of the deepest heartfelt thoughts that we have. That is why loving ourselves completely and deeply is so important. Because even if Carlos does not love himself, it would not matter if everyone around me loved me. I've been there, and that's why I'm testifying to this as being the truth. We have all of the power and all of the authority to live lives of complete happiness and complete joy, where every day in every way joy fills every cell of our body. And we will not know that unless that is tested. I'm speaking a little bit today about proceeding with passion, because there's one thing I know about the children of God. There's one thing I know about those of us who are consciously on this journey of being able to express the highest self that we can possibly be in all given moments. We are here to prove that we are stronger than all of our circumstances when we tap into this power that is within us. There's a scripture that says, "Of you, greater is that power within you than anything you will ever encounter in the world." And so we have to encounter some things and experiences in the world that have not come by mistake. They have come to say, "Who do you think you are?" And our only correct answer would be, "I am the invulnerable, unshakable child of the living God, in whom God is well pleased." At least once or twice I've had you do this exercise. I'd like you to do it again. If your heart has ever been broken, if you've ever experienced heartache or great pain, if you've ever been grieving for the loss of a loved one, If you've ever been so angry at someone that your thoughts were raging about it and it seemed like an unending tape. If you have ever been given a diagnosis that scared you, or opened an envelope that scared you, or received a phone call that shook you, if you have ever felt anything less than holy, would you raise your left hand? And could you keep your left hand in the air, and could you please look around this room and see that you are not alone in this? Could you please notice that each of us has been visited by fear, upset, heartache, heartbreak. We've all been confused sometime. And this is okay. I would like you now, if you have ever moved through anything, if you've ever gotten over a grievance, if you've ever stopped being angry, if you've ever returned to the garden of your peace, raise your right hand. And once again, I ask that you would look around this room. You see, each and every one of us is a testament to the resurrecting power of God alive and well and living within each of us, living in our experiences. Thank God for the left hand, because the right hand would mean nothing had it not been preceded by a challenge. Our challenges are on purpose. You can put your hands down, but I would like you to use those arms to embrace yourself. Have you noticed that you have never, ever given up, even though you perhaps have thought about it? Have you noticed that you are still here? You're still alive, and you're alive for a holy purpose. Since I saw you last, I had a 5.5-week period in which 3 of my dear friends, individually, not knowing one another, took their lives. All of them younger than me, all of them very bright lights for God, for whatever reason, arrived at a moment where they felt like they just couldn't go on. I had a friend, Michael, who drove to a bridge on a Friday and jumped off the bridge and took his own life. I was dealing with Michael and his service and grieving the loss of my friend and wishing that the way it happened had not happened. And on the following Tuesday, a phone call came to say that my friend David had driven to a bridge and jumped off and taken his life. It was very, very troubling for me to know that 2 people dear to me had arrived at a moment where life just got so tough for them that they decided that their only way out was to leave this plane. After those 2 services, there was a resting period of about 3.5 to 4 weeks, and another phone call came saying that my dear friend Sage had left Montague area, had left Northampton, Massachusetts, gotten into her Volkswagen, driven to New York to the Tappan Zee Bridge, parked, took off her sandals, and jumped into the Hudson River because she wanted to quickly go home to be with God and to quickly escape the pain of living life on planet Earth. One thing I know is that challenges, if they are not properly understood, can be received as burdens. And burdens can be so depressing and suppressing that it can lead someone to forget that life, regardless of what it looks like, is well worth living. All of us have been dead before, and we have always risen from the dead. We have all been lost before, and we all somehow once again got found. We have all been blind in some way before, not able to see the goodness of God all around us. Having the thought that God is everywhere present, but not having the feeling or the experience of it. And yet each of us time and time and time again has been resurrected. Each of us time and time and time again has been lifted up off our knees. Each of us time and time and time again has proved to ourselves and to the world and all of those around us that we are survivors, that we keep putting one foot in front of another foot, in front of another foot, in front of another foot, marching on this journey that we are on, even through the valley of the shadow of death. We've not just done it once, we've done it more times than we can count.